Janet Jackson.
I like Janet.
James Taylor.
Love James Taylor.
I do too.
That's more my speed now.
Yeah, I know.
Went from Judas when I was young to James Taylor now.
I'm with you. Jack Johnson, Jack Ingram, Jackson 5. Iron Maiden. And it. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Test, test, test. Test on mic 1. Test on mic 2. Text mic 2. Okay. Was mic is okay, so we're live now.
You're live now, but you can mute it or
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to War Eagle Stadium, a part of the Champion Sports Complex here at Landmark Christian. And we'd like to welcome you to another exciting afternoon of baseball coming to you live on the Landmark Network as the War Eagles are getting ready to face off against the Holy Innocents Bears as Holy Innocents has made their trek down from the Alpharetta side of town, made their way through traffic. Fortunately, they got here a little early to try to stay ahead of things. So as we are getting ready for this afternoon's matchup, you guys will be living it live with us this afternoon. Our cameraman and stuff is going to be tied up with some things, so we will unfortunately be stuck with a still camera. But we're going to, instead of being able to follow the play as much as we normally do, but we will try to do our best this afternoon between Derek and myself in giving you a live presentation, almost a radio format as we go through. Keeping in mind, we are doing a home game as well, so along with the play-by-play on the internet, we will also be playing some of the music and doing some of the live broadcast public address announcements and stuff as the game goes along. I'm joined this afternoon, at least at the moment, with the sports diva herself, Miss Marcia Burdett, up in the press box, who will be here keeping score and avoiding the wind as much as possible this afternoon. So, once again, our electronics guru, Mr. Chaffin, who is normally the brains behind the outfit and the man that works the camera, is going to be stuck doing some other duties this afternoon during the ball game. So we will be kind of doing this on a we'll be doing this in a way that we haven't done this in a while. So we'll be, unfortunately, a still camera, but we'll be giving you the live play-by-play as we go through this afternoon. Once the game gets started, be sure to give us a text or call in at any point in time that you'd like during the game, 770-318-5364. Once again, 770-318-5364. As we're getting ready, we're about 8 or 9 minutes away from first pitch. We're still waiting on the umpires and stuff to show, so we're going to take a break here from just a few minutes, go through some pregame stuff that we'll have to do for announcements, and then I'll be back with you probably here in the next 3 or 4 minutes. So while you've got an opportunity, be sure to get your snacks, make sure to run to the restroom, do what you got to do, and get yourselves ready for an exciting afternoon of baseball as we are coming to you live from the Landmark Network, home of the Landmark War Eagles, where this afternoon's matchup will be the Landmark War Eagles taking on the Holy Innocents Bears in Region 5A baseball action. We'll be back with you in just a moment. We're back with you live here at at War Eagle Stadium here at Landmark Christian School. As coaches are fixing to have their pregame meeting. We got a couple of more announcements we need to make. So we decided to go ahead and jump in live with you guys here this afternoon, and we'll be carrying you guys with us throughout the duration at this point in time. So sit back and enjoy, and I'll be right back with you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to War Eagle Stadium, a part of the Champion Sports Complex here at Landmark Christian. For this afternoon's matchup, we've got the Bears from Holy Innocents making the trip to the south side to take on your War Eagles from Landmark. As the coaches are having their pregame meeting at home plate, just a general reminder that the Georgia High School Association and its membership schools have made a commitment to promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators at all Georgia High School sanctioned events. Profanity, degrading remarks, and intimidating actions directed at competitors and officials will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the event site. Spectators are not allowed to enter the competition area during the warm-ups or while the contest is being conducted. As always, we thank you for your cooperation and promotion of good sportsmanship at today's event. As you make your way in from the parking lot area, be sure to stop by the concession stand located directly beneath the press box area. We also have restroom facilities located to the rear of the press box area. Be sure to stop by there before the game gets started. Once the game gets started, I'm sure you will not want to miss a single pitch of this afternoon's contest. Now, we're back. Do what? No, this is actually a copy of ours. Yeah. So, as I'm coming to you live this afternoon up here in the press box at Landmark Christian School, where we've got a baseball game going on this afternoon, where they're a little delayed getting information and stuff to us. So once again, it's 4:58, about 2 minutes before game time. Once the coaches get through with their pregame meeting and stuff, then we will have a word of prayer and the national anthem, and then we'll be right back with you to get the game kicked off. So stand by. Get yourselves ready. Once again, we'll have a still camera going on this afternoon, so we won't be able to catch all the angles on the ball field, but we will do our best to bring you a live blow by blow as these two prize fighters duke it out here on the baseball field. So we'll be back with you here in just a few minutes, and we appreciate you guys tuning in this afternoon. As we are back with you live here in Landmark, getting ready to take the field. We'll be doing the defensive setup for the War Eagles as they take the field. This afternoon we're going to have a matchup between, we'll have Ed Voiles pitching for Holy Innocents this afternoon. We'll be taking on our war horse, the Iron Man for us, Ben Baggett, as he'll be towing the rubber this afternoon. As we're getting ready to introduce the defensive setups for the War Eagles here at Landmark. Once they take the field, we'll break away for just a moment, long enough to do that. And then we will be right back with you to get ready to announce the ball game. And now, the starting lineup for your War Eagles here at Landmark. Today, starting at first base, number 22, Nolan Bryant. Starting at second base, number 10, Seth Young. Starting at shortstop, number 5, Josh Nobles. Starting at third base, number 2, Austin Brown. Starting in left field, number 25, Will Walters. Starting in center field, number 1, Jordan Wren. Starting in right field, number 8, Reed Kemp. Behind the plate, today's catching duties, number 24, Ethan Sewell. And on the mound, number 27, Ben Baggett. Once again, as we come back to you live this afternoon, is Holy Innocents Golden Bears coming in from Alpharetta, Georgia, to take on the War Eagles here at Landmark this afternoon. As we're playing some warm-up music, as Ben is making his last few tosses, getting things warmed up. Holy Innocents comes in, a strong club, always are historically a strong ball team. They come in usually with good pitching. There's about four to six pro scouts here this afternoon to watch the game, to watch a couple of guys on the Landmark squad as well as some of the guys on the Holy Innocent squad. Not sure which teams they're representing, but just having them at our ball game this afternoon and stuff is a big, big thing. So once again, they are being an exciting afternoon of baseball for us. If you're interested in texting us, letting us know you're out there, give us a buzz at 770-318-5364. Leading off the game for Holy Innocents, the left fielder, number 32, Connor DeLon. I'm not sure if it's pronounced DeLon or Dolan. Dolan. I guess we'll find that out. First pitch then from Ben Baggett coming in this afternoon is for a strike. Good way to start the afternoon. Little lazy line drive to third base. Austin Brown snacks it up for out number 1. Nice little way to keep your pitch count down to get things started. Now batting the shortstop, number 3, Tao Kelsey. Sure. First pitch outside. Ball 1. Next pitch offered by Baggett. Still outside of the zone. 2-0. If you've got need to use that, go right ahead. Next pitch. Inside. 3-0. Ben trying to jam him up a little bit as he kept getting a little further and a little further over the top of the plate. Making sure that he's honest out there this afternoon. 3-0 count to Kelsey. One right down the middle for a strike. 3-1 count. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Make out a 3-2 count for Ben. Nice job, Ben, for battling back on that pitch count there. Once again, give us a text, 770-318-5364. Let us know that you're out there listening. So 3-hopper to the shortstop, Josh Nobles. Josh scoops it up, throws across the field for out number 2. So 2-pitch first at bat. A few more pitches second at bat as Will Small is coming up to bat. Now batting the center fielder, number 21, Will Small. First pitch. Strike right down the middle. Ball skips away from Sewell as it bounces in the dirt. Runs the count 1-1. Next pitch. Ball up in the zone. 2 balls, 1 strike. When we're up here in the press box, we have many, many things. Sometimes we are almost running a marathon up here, so every now and then. Ball hit down the right field line. It is fair. Reed Kemp over to cut it off. As Smalls in strolling with a stand-up double. Works the count to a 2-1 count, and then he takes the ball and goes with it right down the right field line. Reed Kemp hustles over to it to get it back in as quickly as possible, but not before he's in for a stand-up double. As Mr. Jokerst is coming up. Now batting the right fielder, number 14, Sam Jokerst. Some of these last names will leave a little bit to be desired, needless to say. Once again, 2 outs, runner on second. Curveball in there for a strike, inside corner. Nice pitch by Ben. Second base, the infield playing at normal depth. Not really worried too much about keeping him close to second. He gets his lead. Ball hit to right field, should be caught. Reed Kemp's there for out number 3. Nice little job for pitching for the top of the first for Ben Baggett. As the Golden Bears leave one stranded at second. As we go to the bottom of the first with our score tied 0-0, Landmark fixing to come to bat. Once again, we've got a still camera going with us this evening. So we won't be able to get every angle of the ball game, but we will do our best to try to keep everybody included and let everybody know what's going on. As we're going to scream out the starting lineup for the defensive setup for the Golden Bears here in just a moment as we're trying to get things lined up. You hear Kenny Chesney celebrating a birthday in the background. Defensive setup for the Golden Bears this afternoon. Starting at first base, number 22, Carter Brim. Starting at second base, number 1, Paxton Juneau. Starting at shortstop, number 3, Tal Kelsey. Starting at third base, number 10, Joe Charon. Charon, whatever. I can't get their last names right. Please forgive me. Starting in left field, number 32, Connor Dolan. Starting in center field, number 21, Will Small. Starting in right field, number 14, Sam Jokerst. Behind the plate, number 23, Sam Herrick. And on the mound, number 11, Ed Voiles. Leading the game off for the War Eagles, the shortstop, number 5, Josh Nobles. Yeah, you can definitely you can let folks know whenever parents are here at the ball game because they want to make sure that little Johnny's name is pronounced correctly. So, first pitch offered to Nobles is in the dirt for ball one. Once again, as you're tuning in with us, give us a text at 770-318-5364. Let us know how we sound, good, bad, or indifferent. Nobles offered at that second bunt there and missed, so count goes to 1-1. Just don't be too abusive to us. Remember, whenever you're texting, you've only got so many. Well, you can character. They're not tweeting, so you can put in as much as you want. So I guess it's creative as you care to be. Next pitch offered to Nobles is outside. It's 2-1 as I am joined in the press box with my partner in crime, Mr. Derek Nobles. How you doing, sir?
Doing well. Great to be here.
Nobles hits the shortstop. Shortstop rears back, throws across the field. Little low. First baseman's able to dig it out for out number one.
The good thing is we're not quitting our day jobs.
That's true.
So be gentle with us.
That's exactly right.
Now batting the second baseman, number 10, Seth Young.
Seth Young, the second baseman for the War Eagles, steps into bat.
Seth's been doing double duty some, been playing a little bit behind the plate as well as playing the middle infield, giving Ethan a little bit of a break. Ethan's had an opportunity to play some third. But back to the starting lineup, what we know is hard hit ball to third. Nice play, nice assist there by the shortstop as the ball is hit to the third baseman. The ball bounces off his glove. Shortstop was breaking that way. Fields the ball clean across the field. Bang, bang play there for out number two. Nice play right there once again by the shortstop.
Good alert, good awareness by the shortstop to gather himself and throw that ball out. Throw the ball over to first. As Ben Baggett steps in for the War Eagles, they try to help himself.
Yep, 2 outs. First pitch to Ben. Outside, ball one. Like I said before the game started, Holy Innocents is known for being a strong squad year in, year out. They're always here battling. It's like we said, there's 4 to 6 scouts here today to watch some of the guys that are playing. I'm not sure which ones exactly. If we do have that opportunity to find that out, we'll do our best to get back with you to let you know. But
well, that was coming in here. There was a couple guys that were timing Ben's pitches.
Right. So 3-0 count to Baggett. Definitely a hitter's count here.
As he takes one right down the middle.
Taking that one all the way. 3 balls, 1 strike. 3-1 count, 2 outs. Nobody on at the moment. Bottom of the first inning. We're just now getting started. A much more pleasant afternoon than yesterday.
Much more.
Taking all the way again. Runs the count 3-2. Yeah, last night, if we could have set this press box on fire for kindling, we would have.
You know, my wife asked me if I wanted to bring our heater today. I had to think about it.
Exactly. Right down the middle for strike number 3 as he gets him called out. They get a called strike 3 as he been little disagreement with the count.
I think Ben thought it was low. But as long as the umpire calls it that way for him, I don't think he'll gripe too much.
No, I believe that would be definite. A few folks text in with us this afternoon. We've had a couple of people call in from the we got one from the 678 calling in, checking in with us. Didn't leave a name or where he's from, but just said listening to the game and enjoying the broadcast. Then we got another text in from the 404, I believe calling from the Douglasville area, as Mr. Bobby Pilgrim is chiming in with us this afternoon. Mr. Bobby, great to have you on board with us this afternoon. Appreciate you tuning in. We hope you enjoy the game. Hopefully the knuckleheads that are announcing this thing won't make it too unenjoyable for you. But once again, we hope that everything's going well for you, sir. And that, once again, Mr. Pilgrim, we appreciate you tuning in with us. So I'm waiting on our phone call-in session for the game from Mr. Baggett calling in from the international places that he might be in the U.S. at the moment. So I'm sure we'll be hearing from him at some point in time.
He hasn't phoned in yet?
No, hadn't called in yet. So I'm sure he may be out skateboarding or something around wherever they're staying. So there's no telling with him. So Robbie said he is somewhat of a wild man, so we'll just have to wait and see. As Baggett goes through and finishes up his warm-up tosses, Ethan fires one down to second as we're getting ready to get started with the top of the second. As I turn the music back down here. Now batting the third baseman, number 10, Joe. Say it again. Sharon. As we're getting help from downstairs.
As Mike solicits input from the,
that's right.
the visiting
parents from downstairs. So sorry about that if I blew out any speakers when I was hollering the name.
As he takes a ball 1.
One ball, one strike. Outside corner. Nice job by Ben right here trying to stay on top of things.
Well, I tell you what, saying a lot about his Coach Phil's confidence in Ben to start him off with these against these guys.
Hit the shortstop. Noble scoops and fires. Cross the diamond for out number 1. Nice play by the shortstop there. After yesterday and some of the defensive setbacks that we had during the game, I think there was a little bit of talking to during the game, after the game by Coach Williams.
I'm sure there was. You know, you can't blame it on the weather because it was just as cold when the War Eagles were on the field as
exactly.
when McIntosh was on the field. So, as Ben delivers a first pitch strike to the designated hitter.
No balls and 1 strike. Offered at it, held up. Ethan blocks it in the dirt for a 1-1 count. 1 ball, 1 strike to Topping. Baggett wheels and deals. He hits a liner into left field for a base hit. Walters over to toss it in.
So Walters is playing left field in place of who's normally out there? It's
Wild has been there several games.
Is that Reed in the right field?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now batting the first baseman, number 22, Carter Brim.
Carter Brim steps in, the first baseman for the Golden Lions.
Golden Bears.
Golden Bears, sorry. The Lions are the
Detroit Lions, where you're from.
No, the Golden.
You're having flashbacks again.
No, the Golden Lions are St. Pius.
Oh, St. Pius. When do we play them?
We don't.
I didn't think so.
Play them next week, don't we?
I don't know. There's no telling with our schedule right now. I think we're just plugging folks in to get games. Strike 1 on the inside corner. Fastball by Ben Baggett.
It was a good-looking strike delivered by Ben there.
You trying to double duty again this afternoon?
I'm going to try to double duty.
I got you.
I only have about 30 seconds. If I can find all of the.
He fires down to first base, throws it into right field. Good idea by Ethan. Reed Kemp's there to back him up. Nice job by Reed. As the ball was up the ladder a little bit, Nolan went up to get it, but unfortunately just outside of his reach. Yes, it was.
Yeah, he had to really throw it high to get it out of Nolan's reach there.
So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Next pitch coming to Brim. I believe that's the way you pronounce his last name. Runner on first. He lifts one into right center field, into the gap. It's going to go all the way to the wall. It's Brim's rounding first, headed to second. He'll stop there. So coach's staff holds him up at second and third. I think both had ambition to go farther, but fortunately for us, they held him up.
Yeah.
So with runners in scoring position, Peyton Juneau is coming to bat, the second baseman.
Now batting number 1, the second baseman, Paxton Juneau.
Top of the second inning, 1 out. Landmark's in a little bit of trouble here defensively as they have got as Holy Innocents has runners at second and third. Ben looks in, gets his sign. Definitely wants to stay at work ahead.
Definitely wants to. Oh, he's coming home. Oh,
Is he successful in stealing home as Coach Williams calls time and wants to bring the troops back to the middle. So as Ben starts into his windup, the runner on third breaks home. That would have been Sharon. As he breaks from third, heading home, the delivering stuff was not quite in time as Sewell had some trouble handling the ball, missed the tag. As the run ends up scoring, as we now are down 1-0 in the top of the second with 1 out.
That was a pretty heads-up play, though, by the the runner at third and the coach at third. You don't see that happen too much.
No, just
Even
not
at
a
this
straight,
level.
not a straight seal. Of course, now the third base coach is looking at the guy on second like, what in the heck are you doing? 1-0 count. 1-0 count to Mr. Juneau. 1-1 count.
And Ben does a great job recovering there.
Yeah.
Blocking it out.
Our defense needs to be a little bit better about communications on certain things as they go on during the game. Like I said, you don't see a straight steal very often, regardless of what level you're on. Curveball, nice pitch by Baggett in there for a strike 1 and 2.
Well, you know, I got to believe, Mike, that they saw him going down, but they just didn't think he was really going to steal. They thought he was just bluffing. I got to believe that.
Well, whatever. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
2-2.
I'll just stick to doing this. That's why they don't have me down there, among other reasons. Ball in the dirt, 3-2, runs the count full. Ben had a pretty good pitching setup first inning. Getting behind a little bit this second inning here. As he draws a walk, we got runners at first and second with 1 out. With Sam Herrick, the catcher, coming to base.
Well, the force is on. We got a force on at either third or second. So as long as we can hold the runners and keep the force on, we got to play. Ben can get the guy to hit a grounder.
Ben lines up from the stretch. Runners at first and second. Infield playing at normal depth. That's the first pitch is a called strike.
Good-looking pitch.
Not a lot of effort. Bryant trying to hold the runner close to first. 0-2 count. Looked a little low from this point, but at this juncture, we're not going to argue. Nice pitch by Baggett. 0-2 count to Herrick. Baggett comes from the stretch, looks the runner back at second. Ball's hit the shortstop. He throws to second, get the force across the bag, not in time. Nice turn right there, good effort by Seth, but unfortunately wasn't quite able to get enough on it. The ball was a little slow getting to Josh, so he had to hustle the throw to second. As Connor Dolan is back up.
Now batting the left fielder, number 32, Connor Dolan.
So number 32, the left fielder, Connor Dolan, steps in for the Golden Bears.
He's the leadoff. Last at bat, he hit a little lazy lazy liner at third. Runners at first and third, 2 outs.
Well, we aren't playing him to pull.
And he did. Fly ball to Reed Kemp. 2 out, 2 innings in a row. Kemp makes out number 3. So as we go to the bottom of the second inning,
One run.
1 run scores, leaving 2 stranded. As the War Eagles will be coming to bat here in the bottom of the second. We will be Jordan Wren, Brooks Austin, and Ethan Sewell. Once again, we'll be coming. Yes. Right. Okay. Thank you. And she has no idea that we're up here doing this. Okay. The assistant AD / sports diva / fashion consultant for Landmark Christian School, Miss Burdette, was just notifying us about the things going on in the concession stand, and our equipment operator / technical guru, Shaffin Young, his wife's birthday is today. So, Miss April, we'd like to wish you a happy birthday this afternoon.
And since you're working in the concession stand, you
Right.
can have a hot dog on us.
Right, that's right. Discharge it to the school. Right.
Barbecue.
Or a barbecue sandwich. So, but where was my thought? I forget. Either way,
You're asking me?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. Oh, I know what I was saying. We're in a live camera, still camera set up this afternoon, so there's angles of the field you won't be able to see very well. Leading off the inning for the War Eagles, the center fielder, number 1, Jordan Wren. So as we'll be running with you for the most part. We'll take a break on a couple of the innings here in between. But Jordan Wren leading off for the War Eagles. Jordan started out the season lights out, hitting the ball well. Has hit the ball well all season. They have tried to work away from him a little bit. Pitchers have stuff on the scouting reports, are very hesitant to pitch Jordan inside because they do know that he's got good power going that way. So, ball past the catcher to the backstop, 1-1 count.
And they aren't giving him anything good to hit in most cases. They're pitching him outside. Pitching him outside most of the time.
Right. They do try to do that. I'm not sure how much of a defensive moving that the catcher does.
Well, it looks like he has a good arm from the warm-ups.
As Jordan hits a flare to the left side for a base hit. So he rounds first, takes a look at second, but then hustles back. As Brooks Austin, the DH, is now up.
Now batting the DH, number 11, Brooks Austin.
We can use Brooks just to get a hold of one here. And drive it for at least a base hit.
Like to see Brooks have a solid hit right here. As Jordan at first gets his lead. Ball outside, 1-0. Jordan's going to play baseball next year at Samford University. He is the only one so far off the squad that's signed for next year. We've got 2 or 3 other guys that are seniors who are getting recruited by some schools. Next pitch to Austin.
Ooh,
Dead ball.
That got
as
him.
the ball hits Brooks. Trust me, he's fine.
The umpire asked
Right.
Brooks if he's doing okay, and they grazed him. I think Brooks got hit harder in football than he did by that ball.
Brooks will be home tonight, though, wanting to ice it. Mom, I'm hurt. I'm dying.
Well, that's because Mama's going to sing a soft kitty for him.
Oh. I knew you're talking about. Right. Runner. Landmark threatening here. We've got runners in scoring position. Runners at first and second. Base hit can score. Could score Jordan.
Ethan takes a wicked cut.
A home run will score Brooks.
I think you told me once before Brooks is deceptively slow.
He is. Exactly. His brother Blake is not exactly built for speed. As
Blake,
Ethan turns the square to lay a bunt down and fouls it off and hits every person in the batting circle.
well, you say that about Blake, but Blake played halfback for the school in football.
I know. That's what doesn't make sense to me either. But if you notice, Blake did not have breakaway speed. He just had a good stiff arm. One.
Right? No balls?
Weird. Strike 3 call for Ethan Sewell as Ethan is sent back to the dugout as Will Walters comes to bat.
Got called out on a breaking ball.
No, actually, I'm sorry. That's Nolan Bryant coming to bat.
Yeah, Nolan.
Now batting the
First baseman, number 22, Nolan Bryant.
So Nolan steps in with 1 out, runners at first and second. A base hit would score Jordan.
Yeah, we definitely need a base hit right here. Landmark needs to score at this. Not normally. First pitch to Nolan goes first base on catcher's interference as he goes to take a swing and hits the catcher's mitt.
Okay.
As that brings up Reed Kemp now with bases loaded.
Now by the right fielder, number 8, Reed Kemp.
Bases loaded for the War Eagles. 1 out. Once again, as Nolan's first pitch he received. As Nolan went to swing, catcher stuck his hand out to make the catch and hit the glove of the catcher, so it's called catcher's interference. Nolan gets the bag. Everybody moves up 90 feet.
Still 1 out.
Yep, as Reed is playing the mind games with the catcher, with the pitcher, steps out, calls time. As Reed's getting ready for his first pitch. Fouled down the third baseline as Coach Williams tries to apply his soccer kick save routine, but unavailable. Didn't work that time. Josh had to go get the ball. 0-1 count to Reed Kemp.
With
swing and a miss, strike two.
I'll say with Will Walters in the on-deck circle.
0-2 count to Kemp. See what kind of out pitch we're going to see here. Fastball up the middle. He bounces. Takes it himself. Double play. To end the inning as Landmark loads the bases. Strands three, but unable to score. As we go to the top of the third inning, where Holy Innocents is still up 1-0. And we'll be back with you here in just a second. As we're back with you live here at Landmark this afternoon, where the Golden Bears are taking on the War Eagles. We're at War Eagle Stadium here at the beautiful Champions Club Sporting Complex here at Landmark. As Baggett takes his last few warm-up pitches here, Ethan's fixing to get ready to throw it down.
And, Mike, it is a beautiful day here. The sun is shining. It's a little chilly, but it's beautiful. It really shows off the sports complex here. And what better place would you rather be on a Wednesday evening? And I've got the best seat in the house here.
Number 3, the shortstop, Tal Kelsey.
Yep, he has the best seat in the house, sitting right beside me. In the press box.
And the Athletic Diva.
And the Athletic Diva, assistant AD. Yeah, right back up the middle, base hit. Excuse me. That little tendency there, it always kind of flares up on me whenever that occurs.
Yeah, well.
So he hits a bullet back up the middle, and Ben throws his glove in the direction, hoping he might be able to stab it, but to no avail. As his first pitch he sees, he hits back up the middle for a base hit.
Yeah, I'm sure they can put the blood pressure meter on him now, and they'll find out he's probably about 165 over 140. That came back like a shot.
Mm-hmm.
As Will Small steps in for the Golden Bears. Nobody out, runner at first.
Top of the third inning. We've had a few more texts come in. Once again, if you're out there listening to us, 770-318-5364. We'll run down through some of those where you guys are calling in from and texting us.
As Ben delivers the first pitch ball to the batter.
Make sure join the hit parade with Mr. Pilgrim. 1 ball, 1 strike. So we got runner at first.
No out.
1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out. Runner at first. Baggett looks over his shoulder to keep the runner close as he gets ready to come home. Here's the pitch. Foul ball off to the right side, out of play.
Thought that was going to hit the light pole, Mike.
1 ball, 2 strikes. I'm off duty.
Had to send you up to have you shimmy up the pole.
Yeah, you want to see something funny, watch me try to climb one of those poles.
That's why I said shimmy.
Exactly. I was shimmying myself to the parking lot and into my truck back to the house. Let folks know that I'm not allowed. I'll go get my bucket truck. No shimmy, no sachet. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Next pitch by Baggett as the runner goes. He hits the ball up the middle and a hit and run to perfection. Ball goes to the outfield for a base hit. Runners move up 90 feet. As Young was breaking to second for the runner stealing, the batter was able to put the ball in play right back where Young was standing. As the right fielder, Sam Jokerst, is up.
Now batting the right fielder, number 14, Sam Jokerst.
So that brings Sam Jokerst up with nobody out, 2 on in the top of the 3rd inning.
Runners in scoring position once again. Landmark is struggling here a little bit early on. As he only played a first, Austin Brown throws across the diamond for the out. Bang, bang play right there. But in time to get the runner. As the runners do move up, he does his job as sacrifices. He's got runners at second and third with 1 out.
Well, it wasn't a great bunt, but it was effective.
Did enough.
Now batting the third baseman, number 10, Joe Sharon.
So Joe Sharon, the third baseman, comes in with 1 out.
I've got to be careful not to call him Sharona, because that's what the parents call him. Runner at second, third, 1 out. Ball in the dirt. Ball 1.
The runner at second has got just a huge lead there. He comes up even with the shortstop. As Ben delivers a clutch strike, 1-1 to the batter.
One ball, 1 strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. Ball a little low out of the zone.
Look at the runner at second, Mike.
He has got a lead like nobody's business. He can walk to third. As he lifts one into right field, into foul territory, Reed Kemp gives it a look, but out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. No, with the infield playing in right here, trying to get the out or to get the force, they're trying to set things up to get the out at first, hold the runners where they're at, which allows the runner at second to get himself a big lead. High chopper only plays, gets to first as Austin Brown throws the ball up the first baseline. 1 run is in, 2 runs are in as the runner advances to second on the throw. Be an error charge to the third baseman. So with 1 out, it's 3-0 just like that. As Baggett steps back up on the rubber. Tough play right there, as we needed that out right there. Would have been a big play for the War Eagles.
Would have saved a run, giving us 2 outs.
Well, if he'd have got been able to get the out at first, you're right. It was salvaged and kept only 1 run scoring. As Topping stands in. First pitch offered by Baggett. Ball outside. Looked good from here, but that's why we're in the press box.
That's why we're here, and we're not down there.
That's right. We have the best seat in the house, but we're not in the best seat to be able to make the call. 1 ball, no strikes. Hits a flare into right field. Oh, as Seth Young lays out for it, the throw's coming home. Ethan calls the ball. Reed throws the ball home, keeps the runner at third. Runner on first advances to second. So now with 1 out, we've got runners at second and third. Good effort by Young as he lays out to try to catch that just beyond his glove.
It hit the tip of his glove.
He got closer to it than what I was anticipating at the moment.
He laid out as far as he could go.
He did.
And without catching it. I mean, he did a great job.
So with one out, Holy Innocents has runners at second and third with Carter Brim coming up to plant. I'll let him get this first pitch, and then I'll announce him so his mother doesn't start throwing foreign objects at us from the bleachers.
Well, I don't think she can hit us.
You make a bet?
Unless they were tomatoes. Splatter.
Foul straight back. Now batting the first baseman, number 22, Carter Brim. So, all of you folks at home that are listening to the game, that are talking back to the computer whenever we say stuff,
text us.
Exactly. Give us a text whenever you get an opportunity, 770-318-5364. So we just got an update from NCAA football. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners at second and third for the Golden Bears. Defensive swing as he lays one out there. Seth tosses the ball to first for out number 2 after looking the runners back. Nice heads-up play by Young with Paxton Juneau coming to bat.
He has good defensive play. It did not allow the runner from third to score, although he wanted to. But Seth fielded pretty cleanly and kept his head up so that the runner did break. He'd be able to make the throw to Ethan for the out. So it was a good play, heads-up play by Seth. Good base running.
Swing and a miss. Not a very good swing either, I might add. That back foot thrown out behind it, not exactly the best way to.
Let me tell you, anytime the opponent misses the ball, it's a great swing as far as I'm concerned.
Exactly.
Ben steps out, gets ready to deliver.
Foul off the backstop.
He jammed him pretty good on that one.
No balls, 2 strikes.
Batter fought that pitch off.
Three nothing. Three runs, 5 hits for Holy Innocents. The top of the third. As he fouls one off, out of play to the right-hand side.
I think it's time to go a little bit farther outside there.
Yep. The way he's chasing them, it might be, and his swing is not very good to the outside half of the plate.
I throw it out there. Tell Ethan to get ready for it.
Swing and a miss. First base is open as he has to throw the runner out at first for out number 3. So Holy Innocent scores 2 but leaves 2 stranded as we go to the bottom of the third inning with the score, the Golden Bears from Holy Innocents 3, the War Eagles nothing, as we're going once again as we go to the bottom of the third. So we are looking for something to play here. What'd I do? Apparently, I'm being corrected on my verbal.
No, the athletic diva was saying you were a little harsh with your 0, with your nothing, you know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Everybody gets a trophy.
She wants you to be a little sensitive.
My bad. I'm supposed to be sensitive so people don't get their feelings hurt.
Maybe you should have said the War Eagles have yet to score.
Your War Eagles have yet to score because they've had opportunities and did not capitalize. Whatever. Just keep your scoreboard. That's right. Everybody gets a trophy. Sign them all up. No matter how bad you may be or good you may be, everybody gets a trophy.
Yeah, we need to put dodgeball back in the schools.
Dodgeball, nothing. It needs to be killer ball. Unless you draw blood, then you're still in.
Okay, Miss Burnett was telling me that Burdett was still telling me
that
they do have
Coach Ross has got some and they play. Let me back up. They don't play. They come out to dismember folks. Yeah, I have seen that before. I've had to lay low and stay out of the way. As Will Walters is leading off the inning. Leading off the inning for the War Eagles, the left fielder, number 25, Will Walters.
No girls in dodgeball?
That's because they're worried that the girls would win.
Say Title IX, baby.
Exactly.
Get them up there.
Title IX. Oh, okay. And this umpire is a stickler for folks to be in the dugout.
I'm surprised he hasn't been a stickler for making the coaches wear helmets.
First pitch to Walters is up in the zone, 1-0. So once again, bottom of the third, War Eagles down 3-0. Be nice to get a couple right here in this inning. Close that gap, kind of starting over again.
Really would.
2-0 count. So the ball rolls away from the catcher. No. Oh, I'm having a migraine. I think I'm going to have an aneurysm. It's not me. I'm not wearing sweet-smelling lotion. Miss Burdette has now gone into her fashion consultant. It's probably someone downstairs.
Yeah, I don't know who that would be.
Nope. Derek stopped wearing his tapioca flavored lotion weeks ago, he said. Swung on and miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Walters.
Although it could be the compound I'm using for my facials. You know, that.
That's it. I'm sure. Next pitch. Swung on, high fly ball left side. Left fielder a few steps in, guards his eyes from the sun to make the catch for out number 1. As we go back to the top of the lineup with Josh Nobles coming to bat.
Now batting number 5, Josh Nobles.
Well, Will was hustling around the base path there.
Yep. As he rounded second, heading for third, right back into the dugout. He did show fleet of foot. Nice job by Will. Check swing did go around, be strike 1 for Nobles. Oh, 1 count.
I think he needs contacts.
0-1 count, 1 out. So are you saying that he's like Willie Mays Hayes?
No, not Willie Mays Hayes.
Swung on and missed. Was that the character in the movie that needed?
Well, no, Willie Mays Hayes.
No, it
was.
was.
What's Wild Thing needed.
Yeah, it was. Yep, I knew.
Charlie Sheen needed.
Yep, Sheen needed. Well, they are selling barbecue in the concession stand. So, barbecue smells like lotion now? Really? Did you eat lunch today? Everything is now all of a sudden having food smells with Miss Burdette. So apparently she must have skipped lunch again today. If anyone has any food they'd like to bring Miss Burdette in the press box, please feel free to do so at this time.
Or she starts biting her nails. Well, she won't do that. Those are too well manicured.
Exactly. Nobles hits one down the third baseline. The third baseman makes the play. Tosses across the infield for out number 2. So Seth Young coming up, his second go around. As the War Eagles have still yet to score. Got the bases loaded last inning, but unable to do so. So right now having trouble getting runners on. So we'll see what happens here with Seth Young batting.
Now batting number 10, Seth Young.
I think he has happy birthday on the computer.
Did he? I didn't even look.
I don't think you have happy birthday on the computer.
No, I don't have happy birthday. I'm not playing happy birthday. I got only happy birthday song I got is Barney. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. Stab me in the eye. 1 ball, 1 strike to Seth Young. Yes. 1-1. Two balls, 1 strike. 2 outs to Young.
As he bounces that one up there.
2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Young puts it in play. Shortstop fields it cleanly. Throws across the diamond for out number 3. Landmark comes up empty again as we go to the top of the 4th with the Golden Bears still up 3-0. A little fun incorporated.
This umpire helps out the War Eagles by giving Coach Will the bat, previous batter.
We got a shout out from someone texting in from Alabama. Did not list who they're watching or listening to, wanting to see, but we appreciate them tuning in with us this afternoon. Could very well be. So we appreciate you guys tuning in with us. Be sure to spread the word. Let your friends and family know as we go to our call-in part of the show.
I think we have a substitution.
I think I'll be right back with you.
And we have a substitution. Brooks Austin is coming in to play third base for the War Eagles.
Hey, sir, what's happening? Yes, sir.
So Brooks got some work yesterday
You're still out there in Arizona.
on the pitcher's mound there. Did pretty good for a couple innings.
You ain't kidding me and you both. I'll be adding something to it. So hang on 1 second for me.
So here we go to the bottom of the 4th inning
I'll be right back with you.
as the Golden Bears
Now batting
send number 23,
Sam Herrick.
Sam Herrick, to the batter's box to face Ben Baggett. Nobody on in the bottom of the 4th inning. Looks like there's a consultation going on over there.
Well, yesterday we didn't do it because Chaffin had to work late, so we didn't get a chance to set the equipment up.
So the umpire steps in, cleans off the plate, tells him to get ready to play ball.
Right. I got you. Okay. Well, that's
So Ben is ready.
you guys are tuning in from Arizona.
Gets the sign from Ethan, the windup,
We're gonna do our best, sir.
and the first pitch of the 4th inning is a strike
That's right.
on the inside corner.
Know after the game that they need to start playing better. Right?
No balls, 1 strike.
Yes, sir.
You can see the
Thank you. Bye-bye.
sun is now at the ominous angle here for the War Eagles as
Just
Ben
finished
delivers a second strike here.
the call-in show aspect of it, talking to Mr. and Miss Baggett along with Aunt Lori.
As Ben strikes
Him out as he's taking a wander back to the dugout. We have a defensive change for the War Eagles as Brooks Austin's playing thirds. We're back to the top of the lineup.
Now batting number 32, Connor Dolan.
One out for Ben. We apologize. We were not streaming live yesterday. Had some issues with the weather as well as some work schedules, so we were unable to set our equipment stuff up in a timely fashion. But all things are right with the world today because we're back right with it.
And the equipment has thawed out.
Right, exactly. We are in a still camera setting for this afternoon, so there will be some angles that you will not be able to see. But once again, we'll do our best to keep you up to date as we have an 0-2 count. Ball way outside. I think that one slipped a little bit whenever Ben was releasing the ball. Ben has definitely been the workhorse for the pitching staff up to this point this season. Has definitely had some good outings. Even whenever, as Brooks shows his airness, as gets off his feet there to catch a line drive. So we have 2 outs with Mr. Kelsey coming up to bat.
Now batting number 3, Tal Kelsey.
How do you pronounce his first name?
Tal, T-A-L.
Okay. Oh, short for Talbert. Okay.
That's a hoity-toity name. Only rich folks know that. That's why Miss Burdette knew. Huh? You're probably right. Talbert's probably not too far from it. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Yeah. as Ben has an 0-2 count with 2 outs. Foul off to the right-hand side, still alive. 0-2. So Ben having a little better outing this inning. So it's been a little bit of a strike 3 call for out number 3, as he more or less, does he strike out the side?
He didn't strike him out. Brooks got the.
That's right, the line drive.
Yeah, but he
Brooks
struck out the guy before that. So he struck out 2 out of 3. 66%, I'll take that.
As we go to the bottom of the 4th, as the War Eagles are still down 3-0. Trying to work on needing to get some base runners here. Need to get a little more, put the ball in play, make their defense work. But their pitcher has been pretty strong up to this point. I have a sneaky feeling he might be one of the ones that the pro scouts are here watching. So,
are they pro scouts or college scouts?
Some are pro scouts.
Okay.
Yeah, there's 2 or 3 that were down there that had MLB logos on what they had on. So, I don't know.
Dude, I could go buy an MLB hat.
Yeah, but I've seen a couple of these guys before over the course of the last few years. So you're right. I can go buy something that says MLB. But the problem is, though, if I wore something that had MLB on it, most everybody would look at me and go, really? Do you just go buy that has MLB on it? That's what they'd be asking me.
Yeah. And it would be a legitimate question to you.
That's true. And I would be asking them, going, do I not look like an MLB scout? And they're like, dude, you look like you don't know which end of a bat to swing.
An LB scout, maybe, but you know.
That's true. As Ben Baggett will be leading off the inning for the War Eagles.
Coming off a great inning, 1, 2, 3.
Now batting for the War Eagles, number 27, Ben Baggett.
As he retired the side in order. So we got Ben Baggett, we got Jordan Wren,
and Brooks
Austin coming up in the bottom of the 4th for the War Eagles.
Foul ball straight back. 0-1 count to Baggett. Again, like we were saying a while ago, being the workhorse on the pitching staff, has been batting in the 3-hole pretty much all season long. It's it's hit the ball solid, waiting for a big breakout game for a lot of these guys to really open things up. Ball's up in the zone, 1-1 count.
War Eagles are a little shorthanded in pitching with Connor Stevenson being out. He's supposed to come back in another month or so, I believe.
Right,
Oh, in a week. Oh, okay.
Curveballs, that snaps off at the edge right there towards the end, and for a 1-2 count, nice pitch.
So I was just corrected. They expected to have him back by after the end of spring break.
Correct. Ooh.
Whoa. I think that might have been a makeup call.
I'm not going to complain, but
well, even the catcher looked back and said,
he popped out fixing to throw it down to third as if he had just struck him out, but the umpire said we're going to go one more time. 2-2 count to Baggett. Here's the pitch. Fly ball to right field. Kind of hangs up a little bit longer than what we thought. The right fielder makes his play to get out number 1. Jordan Wren's coming up to bat.
Now batting number 1, Jordan Wren.
So Jordan, once again, has been hitting the ball well, hit it solid when he does get an opportunity to hit it for the most part, but they have been pitching information has been having him pitched away as they were just doing just like that right there. Once Jordan perfects that little outside swing like his brother had back in high school, Kyle, who's now playing at Georgia Tech, Kyle ended up leading the team, and I think is all in the record books all time for triples. So next pitch outside, 0-2 count to Jordan as Jordan gets himself in an early hole here. See how well he can battle back. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out to Wren. Next pitch offered. Here it comes. We got a time. In that case, it'll come in just a minute.
I think Kyle had like a 38 or 42-inch vertical. He was some pretty explosive guy.
Right.
Jordan takes the ball outside.
Low. He was almost wanting to swing at that.
He thought better.
Mm-hmm. Next pitch offered to Jordan. 1-2 count. Ball hit to the right side. The second baseman in the hole gets there, but not in time. Paul throws the ball past the first baseman. Jordan hustling down the base paths. The second baseman made a good play getting over there in the hole somewhat. Made a pretty good throw, but threw it right past the first baseman, so that'll go down as an error.
Well, he realized.
Oh, actually, it'll be an infield hit.
Well, he realized that Jordan had good speed, and he really had to hurry it up.
Now batting the third baseman, number 11, Brooks Austin.
So Brooks steps in for the War Eagles.
Well, if I'm scoring, it's an error. But here again, I figured with you doing this, I assumed it would have to be everybody gets a trophy. So
The kinder, gentler scorekeeper.
the way I look at it is, like I said, if Brooks Austin hits one down the right field line, just foul. Nice idea there by Brooks, taking the pitch and going with it. Brooks has got good power to all fields, so if he gets to square one up here, it could go a long way. Brooks had him a 2-home-run game a couple of games ago, so he is definitely starting to find the zone. Of course, the kid that's on the mound now, this pitching, Voiles, he's long. He can almost just hand the ball to the first baseman. Wonder if he is related to has to be the Voiles empire. As Brooks fouls one straight back.
Oh,
Jordan.
yeah. I think he is because I remember his name is Ed Voiles.
Right.
Yeah.
That's named after the dealerships that used to be big around the Atlanta area back in the late 70s and into the 80s.
They don't have any more dealerships here? Or?
I don't believe the Voiles do. They may have some other places, but I don't believe the ones in Atlanta are gone.
I think I remember last year when we played up there that was a reference that he was part of that clan.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Austin. Ball up in the zone. Brooks battling with him as he hits one foul a mile in the air. As Brooks battles, he works hard up there, doing a good job right here getting more and more pitches out of the pitcher. As they go through the signals with Coach Williams. Jordan gets his lead.
So is this their ace? I know there are 2 of them. There's Ed and Jim Voiles.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if he's the number 1 or not. If I had to guess, most of the number 1s have been pitching against us. I think the first baseman and Jordan are having a conversation over there at first. Exactly.
He may be going to Sanford, too, and they're just talking about if they want to room together or not.
There you go. What's that? What they're eating for dinner after the game. Throws back. Ball bounces. I think it's the ball hit Jordan.
Hit Jordan, yeah.
I'm assuming he hit him in the back. So, unfortunately, wiffle ball rules are not in effect here. I think the first baseman's going, look, dude, he's not going anywhere.
No balls. No balls. Means no balls.
Next pitch to Austin. Ball's in the dirt as Jordan strolls into second.
You can put that ball back up there now.
Ball bounces off the dirt here and rolls to the backstop. Jordan makes his way to second with ease. Got a 1-2 count for Brooks. Brooks has been battling well with the pitcher here on this at-bat. See what he gets right here.
Fouls that out of play.
Fouls another one out of play the right side. Just out of the reach of Mr. Go-Go Gadget, first baseman.
Go-Go Gadget.
As he goes to the,
Go-Go Gadget, the first baseman.
You don't remember that?
I remember. I'm just trying to.
He goes to the fence like he's fixing to reach out over there across the fence and catch it.
Oh.
He didn't have his Go-Go Gadget arms. Inspector Gadget. Here again, probably someone else at home looking at as the steal's on. Brooks fouls one off.
I tell you, if he could have turned that into a hit, Jordan would have definitely scored that.
Jordan will score anyway if it's a base hit.
Is that tobacco? Oh, okay. Halls. Okay.
Yeah. Miss Burdett's eating a lot of Halls and small suckers because she's trying to get off tobacco. She's down from a 3-can a day user to 2 bags of Halls and 2 suckers. Who loves you, baby? Brooks puts one in the hole. Shortstop goes to the hole to make the throw across the diamond. Throw is short. Past the first baseman. Jordan advances to third. Runners at first and third. Brooks reaches out to grab the guy but the first baseman's chasing the ball down. So Ethan Sewell coming up to bat.
I think Brooks was going to use him like a turnstile there. Just kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Good hustle by Brooks. I'm sure that was the reason why the bang-bang play there, that the shortstop felt like he was being rushed. So, coach's visit.
This is the first appearance for the coach there.
Mm-hmm.
I think he just wants to talk to him. Where is this from, Mike?
This is the theme from The Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
This is The Dark Side, which I opened it when we played Elka. For Eagles Landing, as we all know, is The Dark Side.
Miss Burdett is ridiculing me because I don't know this song. I guess as much as I watched The Big Bang Theory, I should know, huh?
True. That is a classic TV show. Once again, now batting number 24, Ethan Sewell.
So Ethan steps in with one out, runners at the corners.
Sewell fouls one off the backstop.
He was trying to take it opposite field to give Jordan a chance to score.
No balls, 1 strike. You can tell the sun's starting to go down because you should have been up in the press box with us yesterday. You think cold.
Yeah.
My stars. I'm not kidding. I mean, it was 40-something degrees, but that's the coldest 40 degrees I think I've ever been in my life yesterday.
That you were working in the press box, Douglas County.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Right.
That was the coldest I'd ever been in my life.
Ball bounces past the catcher to the backstop, hits the bricks pretty hard. Brooks broke to second, but then second thought come back.
Well, and Jordan broke to the plate, and as it came back, he decided to go back as well.
Which the brick on the backstop here kind of has a double whammy there. It can work greatly to your advantage or unfortunately to your disadvantage. So runners at the corners for the War Eagles. 1 out. Jordan Wren at third. Brooks Austin at first. Ethan Sewell gets a good cut right there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Next pitch as Ethan calls time. So the next pitch will be coming in just a few moments. Swung on and missed for strikeout number.
You guys have got to be in the booth with us.
I think strikeout number 4 or 5 for the pitcher this afternoon as Ethan wants to stroll back to the dugout.
And Mrs.
Batting number 22, Nolan Bryant.
As Nolan Bryant steps in for the War Eagles, Mrs. Burdett is sitting on a piece of roll of Charmin toilet paper. I'm amazed at this balancing act she's doing here.
2 outs. Runners at first and third. Nolan Bryant lifts one into center field as he's having troubles finding it in the sun. Comes in, makes a little snow cone catch there to end the inning. As Landmark has a chance to score once again and unable to do so as they leave 2 on as we go to the top of the 5th.
Top of the 5th.
Top of the 5th, the Landmark is still down 3-0. So as they are trying their best to battle back here and come up with something, I'm trying to find something to play here. I'll play this.
And Mike is playing
Somebody is
techno music now.
No. So I'm up here.
Is that Madonna Vogue? Is that what you're playing here?
No, that's Lady Gaga.
Oh, well.
Just Dance. So, Coach Godby missed a call. I'm up here babysitting cell phones during the game as we're doing this. Once again, 770-318-5364. We're in still camera mode for the night as Mr. Chaffin is working the concession stand and has some other things on this being his wife, Miss April's birthday tonight. She has no idea how old she is because there's not a woman alive that I'm aware of that is honest about her age. So she's somewhere between 18 and 50. I'm just not sure where. So we'll just have to wait and see how's do what? You're honest about your age? What, 26? You got married whenever you were 12, and you had Eric Smalls now coming to bat. Leading off the inning for the Golden Bears, number 21, Will Small.
Well, you've got a child in college,
So what does that mean?
You're 6 months older than Coach Brantley.
She's lamenting it.
I guess. Just wait. First pitch, as he reaches out to bunt for a hit, Ben comes up firing for the out at first. Nice job by Ben as he bounces off the mound. Gets to the ball quickly and throws him out at first base.
Good, quick, accurate throw there.
Good stretch by Nolan to help make that play. Sam Jokester.
Number 14.
Jokerst, excuse me, now batting.
Now batting number 14, Sam Jokerst.
So
they've got quite a few seniors on the Holy Innocents team.
they do. They are senior heavy. We've got several seniors on our bunch as well. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 starting today. 6. Yep. 6, 2 sophomores and a junior. With Ethan Sewell being a senior, Josh Nobles, Brooks, Austin, Will Walters, Jordan, Reed Kemp. As he hits that ball to left center field, Jordan is under for the out. Jordan's pretty smooth out there in the outfield, got good speed, able to get to it. As we are with Joe Sharon coming up.
And actually shielded the sun very well when he was drifting over there.
Joe Sharon.
I can't remember if I got that right or not. That's right, because they call him Sharona.
Yeah.
Ball's in the dirt for a 1-0 count. 2 outs. Top of the 5th. Landmark down by 3, as I got text a while ago and told.
What did you say before? I thought you had said.
No, they texted me and said, hey, base hit into left field. Could have possibly been caught. Someone with a little more wheels in left field, but base hit for Holy Innocents as their hitting barrage continues.
We are notorious for giving up hits with 2 outs.
Now batting number 15, Daniel Topping.
Yeah, we've got to probably, I would dare say we're probably our batting average, our team batting average against us is about a 240 slot with less than 2 outs. Then we get 2 outs and it jumps to about 320. So not sure if that's a lack of focus at times or if that's or what it is, but just having some trouble, I think, just getting a fire lit. And
Nope, one ball.
I'm not sure if some of the players on the field are looking to somebody else to kind of create a spark, but regardless of whatever it is, they need to collectively get things going here.
Ben throws the second ball. Down low.
2 balls, no strikes. Runner at first. So he hits that one into left field, into the gap. Jordan on his horse all the way. Jordan gets there and cuts it off before he gets to the wall. Turns and throws it in. Runner rounds third. He'll score as topping in with a stand-up double. Good hustle right there from Sharon. Sharon. Yeah, Sharon, excuse me. As Carter Brim is coming up.
And Ethan goes out to try to settle down Ben a little bit. I don't know if they had a miscommunication there or Ben's just a little frustrated by that hit, which I'm sure he is.
Got good wood on that one, hit that one in the gap because Jordan was on his horse. If he could have got there, he'd have caught it for no doubt. But
yeah.
Unfortunately, he was there to cut it off before it got to the fence, which was good. Once again, runner scored. So Landmark now down 4-0 in the top of the fifth.
Still with 2 out.
With Carter Brim batting. Strike one from Ben. 0-1 count. Next pitch. In the dirt to the backstop, up the first base line as it rolls towards the dugout. Runner advances to third. It's Ethan in pursuit. Ben covers home plate for him. Sorry. As we have a 1-1 count, 2 outs, runner at third now.
Thank you for doing that, Mike. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Sorry about that. Down in the dirt, 2-1.
Mike's up here yawning, and now everybody's yawning.
That's right. My mistake. Whenever you're having to work as many hours as I do, or something like that.
Well, I may have started you.
Next pitch, swung on and missed, 2-2. Good pitch by Ben. Ben doing his best to work the bottom half of the zone, which is good. So him staying, having enough control to stay in that part of the zone is good, as that's just a little defensive swing. Second baseman makes a play, throws across to Nolan for out number 3. So Holy Innocent scores one more as
Not
no.
that one.
They scored one earlier in the inning to extend their lead to 4-0. As we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, Landmark's got to get something going here.
They really do. They don't have a lot of time left.
Right. Now, this is our last game of the week this week?
Yes. Well, what's today? Day is Thursday. Yes, it is.
No, day's Wednesday.
I'm sorry, Wednesday, yeah. It's the last game for this week. And you're probably asking, what does the rest of the week, the rest of the month hold? Well, nothing, since this is the end of the month.
Sunday.
But they do have practice on Friday and Saturday.
Now, do they have school Friday?
No.
Is everybody out Friday? What?
Are the public schools out too?
I don't know. That's what I was asking, because
Yeah.
it sounds like some of the public schools have got school Friday, which I think's,
So our next game after this one is on April the 9th against Pace.
That's right, because we got spring break coming up.
Right. So we play the 9th. The 12th will be home against Mount Vernon, which is a Friday. And then Saturday, we're home against Padilla, the 13th at 1 o'clock. So the 9th, the 12th, and the 13th.
Be a busy little stretch right there. As Reed Kemp standing out in the on-deck circle, loosening himself up. So he's coming up to get ready to lead off the bottom of the 5th. Batting for the War Eagles, number 8, Reed Kemp. So, bottom of the 5th, Landmark down by 4. Needing desperately to get some base runners on. Needing desperately to score some runs to go along with it.
Yeah, well, we've been witnessing that getting runners on does not necessarily equate to scoring runs.
Exactly. Reed Kemp fouls the first pitch off. He sees 0-1. Count. Here's the next pitch.
Ooh.
Strike right outside corner, fastball. 0-2. Next pitch offered to Kemp. Rings him up, strike 3 as he stands there and looks at a ball that bends just a little bit. Rolls in there for a strike as he gets called out looking as Will Walters comes to bat.
Now batting number 25, Will Walters.
So 1 out, bottom of the 5th for the War Eagles.
Yeah, Walters is due for a hit here.
Mm-hmm.
He takes the first pitch outside, low and away. Ball 1.
Next pitch to Walters. Here it is. Will lifts one into left field. Got the left fielder turning different ways, and head all of a sudden bounces on him. He makes the catch, but I don't think the left fielder, I think he lost it there for a minute till right at the very last second. Looked like he was still running, then all of a sudden just threw his glove up and was able to make the catch. But nonetheless, 2 outs. Now batting number 5, Josh Nobles.
Talk about somebody else that's due.
Swung on and missed, strike 1.
Yeah, he drove through it all right. By it.
Josh Nobles hits one in the gap as he rounds first, heading to second. Throw is not in time as Josh is in with a stand-up double. So Josh in with
the double. Yeah.
Josh is in with a double as Marcia goofed up on the scoreboard. As I'm going to have to take my headset off for just a second to help fix that.
What does she do? As Seth Young steps in for the War Eagles. 2 out, runner at second. Takes a ball, first pitch ball. Ball 2, Seth. As Nobles does a great thing, goes in front of the shortstop and disrupts his view of the ball, and then scores all the way from second.
Just add runs back to the visitors.
4? Yeah. 4. Okay.
I step over to help Marcia with the scoreboard, and I ended up goofing it up worse than what it was.
Well, it is the bottom of the 6th. So good play by Nobles to disrupt the shortstop vision of the ball, and then the score as he bobbles it.
Baggett hits the ball to the shortstop. Shortstop comes up, throws across the diamond for out number 3. Landmark gets one back for us there as we are going to the top of the – is that right? Top of the 7th? Yes, I guess it is. No,
it should be top of the 6th.
Top of the 6th.
Top of the 6th.
It's our mistake there as we were trying to get things lined up. We got ourselves goofed up there just a little bit.
So let's see if it turns over to 20. No, it doesn't.
Top of the 6th. So as Derek was saying just a minute ago, this will be our last game of the week. Our next game is not until second week in April because we will be on spring break next week.
You going any place fun?
No, I'm not because it's all messed up. Because Landmark and most other public schools are on spring break next week. Douglas County schools are on spring break the following. So that's got everybody in my household tore out of the frame. What the heck?
As the diva
Oh, no, it's your cookie.
Puts a cookie in front of us. How terrible is that?
But it's terrible enough to where it's obvious that you're going to partake.
I'm going to partake.
No. Y'all two can eat the whole thing. No, I don't want none of it. I'm going to sit right over here in my little cubby hole corner. Mm-hmm. As we got the J Train playing here at the War Eagle Stadium from Toby Mac. As Baggett's finishing up his warm-up pitches. Throws the ball down to second.
As Miss Burdette is
now batting number 19, Jack Ballou. Thank you, ma'am, for those down under. We've got some folks in the peanut gallery down there helping us out, making sure we got
get the pronunciation of the names
exactly.
Correct.
Some of these spellings, if y'all could look at these, you'd understand. So,
well, Ballou, I mean, that's pretty.
As he hits a base hit back up the middle for a base hit, his first at bat for the day. So as we go to the top of the sixth, Holy Innocents still using the sticks this afternoon. As he was hitting for Juneau. So we have another change. Miles Finlay's picked up a bat. So now batting number 4, Miles Finlay. As Holy Innocents makes a change. So
The War Eagles finish up their conference at the mound.
As they have as Holy Innocents changed the top 2 batters, the leadoff 2 batters here in this inning. Not sure if he's going to re-enter either one. He was putting in 4-4-23. 23 is the catcher, the last batter in the lineup. As he squares to bunt. Oh, nice play down there. Not in time. Finlay squares to bunt, misses the bunt.
Do you call that a strike, Mike?
I believe so.
I think that was a strike.
Yes. Yes.
0-1.
No balls, 1 strike. Nobody out. Top of the 6th. Next pitch offered. He squares to bunt again and misses. This time the runner is gone. Poor communication by Landmark on the infield by not letting his teammates know that the runner had moved to second. Nolan turned to tag him at first, but he was already on his way to second. So
stand up second.
Yeah. Seth not communicating very well with his first baseman to let him know what the circumstances are. That's the next pitch offered to Finley. Up in the zone, 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runners at second. Base hit could potentially score. Next pitch offered. Just inside, just barely off the inside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Mike, he jumped off of that plate like the ball was going to hit him.
I know.
So he needs to come back with another inside curveball.
Exactly. Bring it over just a little bit. Next pitch from Baggett. Swung on and missed. Gets the strikeout. Unfortunately, first base was unoccupied, so the runner was able to advance. So as runner gets to go to first because the ball is past the catcher with first base open.
Yeah, that was a communication breakdown that's the second one in a row the War Eagles had. Coach Phil is coming out to talk to the boys.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to mic the pitcher.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
I just want to get a dadgummit count.
He had that last night. I think Coach Williams that was kind of a A little bit of a frustration, not really a mad thing. I think it was just unfortunate. We got runners on the corners, nobody out, with Connor coming back to bat.
Now batting number 32, Connor Dolan.
So we're at the top of the sixth here. Nobody out, runners at the corners, as Mike said.
Top of the lineup for the Golden Bears.
And Ben's going to have to pitch himself out of this one.
Mm-hmm. Curveball outside, ball one.
I tell you, they are pretty disciplined. They aren't chasing those balls out there. Wish they would.
Yeah. The old fake to third, fake to first.
Whoop, 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 whoop. More Larry the cheese. More Larry the cheese.
So everybody gets their lead. Baggett comes home as the runner goes to second. Yeah. As Ethan sticks it in his pocket, makes sure the runner stays at third, giving up second base.
Infield's playing in, trying to keep the run from scoring.
Swung on and missed. 2 balls, 1 strike.
You know, these Holy Innocents boys are well coached. You can see the discipline. You can see the aggressive base running.
Yeah, they've always got a strong team. I don't know of any years that they've really been down. Foul tip, strike 2. Even in the years that they haven't been, beating people a bunch, they've been super competitive in the state run. They've still been a well-coached team and competitive to where you didn't want to play them.
Well, I got to confess, I'm actually surprised that they are still at the single A level. Wesleyan went up this school year.
Correct.
Well, it went back up. So I'm surprised they haven't gone back up.
Right. Several teams that I'm kind of curious about that.
And you get Buford moving up and Sandy Creek moving up.
They moving to 4A next year?
No, they moved up this year.
Oh, okay. Okay. Swung on and missed as they got the out. So we've got 1 down.
Well, Sandy Creek is 4A this year.
Yep.
They were 3A. So they moved up to 4A. Buford moved up to 3A.
Now batting number 3, Tal Kelsey.
As Baggett strikes out, helps himself in that part of the, with that batter. So he's still got 2 men on. 1 out. Top of the 6th inning.
He squares to bunt. As they had to squeeze on everybody right there, the guy was coming, as Ballou was coming home. As we got 2 outs now, Sewell wisely come up with the ball, bounced out of his catcher's box real quick, caught him as he was coming home to tag him to save the run from scoring. So now we've got number 21, Will Small.
Now batting number 21, Will Small.
Batting for Holy Innocents. We've got 2 outs.
In travel ball, you have to give yourself up. You have to slide in. I guess if you just kind of walk in standing up, that is considered giving yourself up. So he didn't try to knock him over, run him over, or bulldog him, as they say.
Runners on the corners. Ball comes in for a strike. 0-1.
That curveball that Ben's been throwing has been pretty good all night long. It's been very consistent.
It's pretty good every game.
Yeah.
Foul ball.
Mr. Baggett was telling me that he's got this Sun Tzu approach after he pitches where he doesn't ice his arm. He just kind of does the old rotator stretching exercises to get the blood going back in there.
Right. Different strokes for different folks. You still got to keep the inflammation down.
Yeah.
Lined into center field for a base hit. Another run is in Runners advance to first and third as Nobles takes the relay coming in to keep the batters where they are.
Once again, another 2-out run that we give up. It's becoming a pattern that we have.
Runner still at the corners, 2 outs. As the sun's slowly starting to disappear.
And the smell of barbecue rises.
Mm-hmm. The runner breaks to second. The ball's fouled off the backstop. 0-1 count for Joe Kirst. As I think everybody in the stadium is directly beneath us in front of the concession stand.
There are a few of the little War Eagles that are over on the side in the bleachers.
That's just because they don't know no better. Yeah. All the adults are beneath us. 0-1 count. Pitch out. Ethan opts to not throw down. Apparently didn't have the coverage or didn't have a warm fuzzy throwing down to second. As I think everybody in the stadium knew that the runner was going. 5-1 count. Excuse me, 5-1 score, 1-1 count, 2 outs. Top of the 6th. Ball in the dirt. 2 balls, 1 strike. Swung on and missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ben battling back.
Turned it down.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
2 strikes.
Foul, defensive swing. Are you talking about what we talked about yesterday? I got you. As the coaching carousel turns. It's almost like a reality show.
It's a little scary.
So. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
As Ben gets there just in time to make the out, to get out of the inning, as Holy Innocents Lee Strands
2.
Making sure the song was going to take there. As we're having a change of lineups and stuff, as Landmark's coming into to bat, we're going to take just a short break here. We'll be right back with you here in just a few seconds. As we're back with you live here at War Eagle Stadium, pitching change for Holy Innocents. We go from one Voyle to the next. Ed Voiles with the start, Jim Voiles in for the close. As a few other defensive changes for the Holy Innocents. I'm not going to be able to keep up with all those at the moment. So as Jordan Wren's coming up to get ready to bat. Leading off the inning for the War Eagles, number 1, Jordan Wren.
Jordan got on with a single last time up, and it's about time we start another War Eagle rally here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
And we seem to hit the ball pretty good late in the game. So we'll see what happens here. Ball outside, 1-0.
I wouldn't be upset if we got about 10, 12 runs this inning.
Yeah. No fuss out of me.
Yeah. Now, the athletic diva may be upset because it's going to cut into her home shopping network time.
That's right. What comes on tonight? It's Wednesday. Oh, it's Duck Dynasty night. Email. Was that confirmations of shipping? Whatever. For the record, Coach Brantley, if you're out there listening, it's 6:43, and Miss Burdette said she is working diligently on athletic issues for Landmark Christian Schools, so please make a note of it. And
well, let me qualify. She said she was working. She did not specify.
Ball hit to the second baseman as he has a little trouble bobbling. It comes up, cannot field it clean, and cannot make the out at first.
And that's the break we can use.
As Paxton Juneau has a little trouble out there with an error. So, runner at first with Brooks Austin coming to bat. Runner on. Brooks' last at bat was a dead ball where he got hit by a pitch. Isn't that right?
Yep.
Yes. As Austin standing in. First pitch to Brooks. Foul off to the right-hand side, out of play. No balls, 1 strike.
Brooks is committed to play football at Shorter College.
Yep.
Is he going up there during spring break just to kind of talk, see what's going on with the
no,
school?
Because the spring break deal is the same. It's not till the following week, and we're playing.
Okay.
So, and Brooks just says he does not want to let his team down.
We were thinking about going out to New Mexico, but the flights were crazy. I mean, they were outrageous. We did find a cheap flight, but
ball in the dirt.
That required us to go out
1 ball, 1 strike
Friday and come back Sunday. And I understand Coach Phil called practice on Saturday.
1 ball, 1 strike, no outs for Ralston. Jordan Wren gets his lead.
Ooh.
Ball goes to the backstop. Wren. Ball gets past the catcher all the way to the backstop. Jordan, that hesitating, breaks to second.
But you know the thing about that, once again, Mike, it came back, hit the backstop, and came right back to the catcher.
Makes a 2-1 count. Umpire wants to inspect the baseball, make sure it's not cracked like an egg.
We need to inspect the backstop there because we aren't getting the home field bounces.
So 2 balls, 1 strike. Runner in scoring position. Base hit can score him. As Brooks looks to the pitch. Ball is a flare to the right side. It will drop in for a base hit. As Jordan Wren heads to third, Brooks is up at first base with a base hit. Nice little job, a piece of hitting by Brooks as he goes with the pitch. Lays it up in right field there as we got runners on the corners with nobody out, with Ethan Sewell coming up to bat.
Now batting number 24, Ethan Sewell.
So Ethan due for a big hit right here. Base hit, score 1, guaranteed. As Coach Williams calls time, as I think he's fixing to put a runner in for Brooks.
Now, why would he do that, Mike?
I don't know. It's Brandon Wiles going in to run for Brooks. Entering again to run number 12, Brandon Wild. So, runners on the corners. Ethan Sewell up to bat. Ethan's pretty disciplined with the bat. He does have a strikeout on the day. As the umpires finish making his notes.
Yeah. Ethan's so anxious to get up there. He was stepping in the batter's box, getting ready to take his cuts.
Waiting for him to start daring the pitcher. Come on, throw it. First pitch to Sewell. Here it is. He fists one up the third baseline, and
great play.
in time to get the out, but not in time as the throw comes back home as Jordan Wren slides in safe. Runner moves up to second base. So we got runner at second with one out as Ethan fists one off there. Goes a sacrifice.
Now batting number 22, Nolan Bryant.
So Nolan steps in, the big first baseman for the War Eagles. With one out, runner at second base. And a run just scored for the War Eagles. Brings the score to 5-2.
5-2, bottom of the sixth. Runner at second. So still needing a good bit more here, but at least the War Eagles are battling right here with them.
And Mike, you gotta love to see that.
I love seeing it, but I just hate waiting to see it in the sixth inning. What do I know? Nolan steps back in. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. Brandon Wild at second base. As Nolan leans back as if that was going to be a ball, but the ball was right on the inside part of the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, that was one Nolan could have turned on and then,
Not going to say nothing. Here's the pitch. Now that one was justified, doing a Mexican hat dance, get out of the way. All right. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Miss Burdette is zipping up another layer of
Good
her.
Lord.
Sounds like a sleeping bag, didn't
Jiminy
it?
crickets, I know.
Zip, button, snap. I'm sorry, not button, snap.
Here's the pitch. Down in the zone, but in for a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. All pitchers have worked low in the zone all day. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Have stayed low in the zone for the most part, unless they were trying to use an out pitch, going up the climbing the ladder. So all the pitchers that have pitched today have had pretty good control. Umpire's been consistent with it.
Ooh, that one broke late and broke down a little bit.
Broke late as Nolan takes a deep breath, along with his dad. I'm sure he's watching in Florida. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Nolan Bryant.
If we traded Ronnie to Florida, what do we get in return?
Ball hit back up the middle for a base hit. Nice little job of hitting by Nolan Bryant. Wild rounds third. Here comes the throw, and he is safe.
He's safe. Good bit of hitting by.
Nice job by Nolan Bryant. Good hustle by Brandon Wild just ahead of the throw. So Landmark adds another one. Now it's 5-3 in the bottom of the 6th with 1 out.
And Reed Kemp steps in for the War Eagles here. Still 1 out.
Nolan Bryant's on second base. So we kind of swap places. We can do that 4 or 5 times. I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Happy, happy, happy. Check swing foul back for Reed Kemp to the backstop, 0-1. I know. Next pitch to Kemp. Ball is just foul down the first baseline. Nice job of hitting right there, going with the pitch. 2 foot to the left, and we'd have been off to the races there. We would have been swapping positions once again.
Yep.
So, no balls, 2 strikes to Kemp. Kemp got himself in a little bit of a hole now. Let's see what happens here, see if he can battle. Next pitch. Ball's outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Kemp tells the runner to hold up.
That's the new pitcher.
New pitcher.
It's the other Voiles.
Supposedly they're twins.
It's the same. They were identical, I guess. Yeah, different numbers. I see now. 13, 11, right?
As Reed hits one up the first baseline, he runs over and tags the bag himself. Nolan Bryant moves up 90 feet. As now we've got runner at third with 2 outs, with Will Walters coming to bat.
Now batting number 25, Will Walters.
I almost said Willy Wonka at first. Will Walters.
I keep wanting to. His nickname is Wad, and I've never figured out where that came from. But nonetheless, I keep wanting to call him that. So I've known Will since he was about 6 years old. So he was close. He's always been a head taller. So first pitch to Walters, back up the middle. Voyle stabs it, takes a step towards first, to get out number 3. So Landmark does get back on the board, scores a couple as we draw within 2 as we go to the top of the 7th. And the score is 5-3. Once again, going to the top of the 7th. So Landmark needs to hold them right here and then come back.
We're at the top of the lineup.
Yep. Looks like we're making a pitching change as we're going back to Brooks Austin again for today for another close. So
we need to check and see how many pitches
bag it through.
Let me text down to our statistician.
Pitching change for the War Eagles. Now on the mound, number 11, Brooks Austin.
We play a little warm-up music for Brooks.
Everybody knows the song but me, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just out of touch.
Do what?
I'm just out of touch.
No, dude, it ain't Motown. Just kidding. I listen to all kinds of stuff.
So do I.
This is just, and don't ask me why. Brooks just came in out of the blue one day and walked up to me and says, if I pitch this year during baseball season, every time I go to the mound to warm up, will you play this? And I'm like, yeah, sure, that's fine. So if I figure that's the least of the biggest thing he asked for, then so be it. We have had a couple other defensive changes. Seth Young back behind the plate. Ethan Sewell over at third. Ben Baggett's now at second. So our infield has definitely been jostled around just a little bit. Once again, as we got Brooks on first, Brooks pitching. Seth Young's behind the plate. The only one that Nolan and Josh are still in their normal spots at first and short. So leading off the top of the 7th for Holy Innocents, number 10, Joe Sharon. As Austin toes the rubber. First pitch from Brooks. Here it is. Line straightaway center right at Jordan as Jordan takes about 8 or 10 steps to his left for out number 1. One pitch, one out. I'm sure Brooks is liking that pitch count setup. As Daniel Topping's now up.
Now batting number 15, Daniel Topping.
Next pitch coming in from Brooks. In there for a strike. Nice pitch by Brooks. 0-1 count to Topping.
Ooh.
Just in on the off on the inside corner of the plate there. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Looks like Brooks is rocking the curveball as well here.
Brooks. See what happens here. Next pitch by Austin. They hit a liner into left field, in for a base hit. One hops it to Will Walters. Will hustles the relay back in to keep him at first. As Carter Brim comes up to plate.
Now batting number 22.
Well, Carter comes in. The runner at first, 1 out. And Brooks Austin on the mound.
See if we can get a little double play ball here. We got a pretty good double play combo in the middle with Ben and Josh. First offering from Brooks. In for a strike. No balls, one strike.
That was
Nice curveball by Brooks.
I say good-looking curveball broke the batter back.
Really?
Easy for me to say.
That one got away from him there. 1 ball, 1 strike. As the coach from the dugout screaming, "Stand there and take it like a man."
We got ice.
Yeah, for real. Women love battle scars.
It's the natural tattoo.
That's right. Line drive, base hit. Reed Kemp comes in, runners round second and looks, but he comes back to second base. So Brooks comes up, first batter, gets 1 pitch, 1 out. The next 2 hitting a couple of line drive base hits with Juno back to bat.
Now batting number 1, Paxton Juno.
Look for Paxton here to probably square to bunt. Would not be surprised if he does.
And Brooks is calling for Seth to come out so they can have a bit of a conversation.
Right. Brooks is kind of the Nolan Ryan, David Wells, Leo Mazzoni, Bobby Cox, and Joe Torre of the bunch. Claims to be all the above. Pitch by Brooks. Up in the zone just a little bit. 1 ball.
I forgot Jeff Foxworthy.
Runners at first and second. Right. And that and Johnny Cochran as far as debating skills. And what else? Who else is there?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Brock Lesnar. That's actually The Rock. That's him and his brother.
You called that a strike?
Yes.
It's 1-1?
1 ball, 1 strike. Next pitch by Austin to Juno. Here it is. Way outside.
You know, it's funny. I was talking to a buddy of mine that referees baseball games, umpires baseball games, as well as other sporting events in Michigan. He said they canceled baseball because it was 40 degrees up there, and I called them a bunch of wimps.
Exactly. Pitch by Brooks as he hits one in the gap there for another base hit. As the runner comes around third, relay home, and he is out. Nice relay from Reed to Nolan Bryant into the home plate to Seth Young.
That saves a run for the Warriors.
Saves a run there, gets another out. Nice job right there, and Seth is able to make the tag and still have great hair. Nice play. Good relay there from the defense at Landmark as they relay the ball in from right field all the way to home plate.
Well, it's got to be that stiff stuff he's using.
I guess it's something. 23, Sam Herrick.
Now batting number 23, Sam Herrick.
So that's 2 outs. Runners are still at the corner.
The old fake to first, fake to third, fake to first.
Flop on the ground.
No, he was telling Seth to make sure he doesn't throw to second. Oh, okay. Curveball right outside corner there from Brooks Austin for a strike. That first pitch curveball has been good for him on the strike.
A little generous strike there.
Yeah. So no balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, runners on the corners. The ball bounces. Here comes the runner. He is safe. The unfortunate there is one of those that just bounced past the catcher. An unfortunate set of circumstances there. Not much you could do about that.
But his hair is still impeccable.
Holy Innocence puts on another run on the scoreboard, 6-3.
And the runner does run down to make it down to second. Once again, another run scores with 2 outs for the War Eagles. 1-1.
Right. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ball's outside. Brooks holding his arm down. I'm not sure if his arm's bothering him or not.
His brother could catch a whole game.
Yeah, nearly a whole game.
And then go out there and
Then start the next game.
That's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. See if Brooks has got him an out pitch here. Here it is.
The runner's going to be going.
Nice pitch by Brooks just off the outside part of the plate. Good idea right there. Runs the count full, 3-2. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
With Connor Dolan in the on-deck circle.
As he bounces one up there and walks him.
That puts 2 on for the Golden Bears.
Mm-hmm.
In the top of the 7th inning. 2 out, runners at first and second.
Who was just batting here? 32.
32, Connor Dolan.
Yep. Now batting number 32, Connor Dolan. That's the leadoff guy. Ball inside.
He was prepared to get hit. He didn't move out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Did he move into that, though?
It almost looked like he didn't make a big effort to get out of the way.
It looked like he started his swing and then.
I'm not sure. I think the umpire is explaining to Brooks or giving him his opinion, good, bad, or indifferent. Now batting number 3, Tal Kelsey.
That loads the bases.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. 6-3. Brooks got him in a little bit of a jam right here. Let's see if he can get out of it. First pitch. Nice pitch by Austin for the strike. Once again, Brooks staying down in the zone, too. All the pitchers today had good control. If you want to miss, you want to miss low for obvious reasons to force yourself a ground ball. Nice pitch by Brooks right there with the 0-2 count.
And the umpires give them that call. Great observation by the pitchers to understand the strike zone of the umpire. Brooks winds up.
Nice pitch.
A little bit
just inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brooks is trying to get out of this without any more damage to give the War Eagles one last shot at it. As he steps up and toes the rubber. Here's the pitch. Down in the dirt.
2-2.
Here's the next pitch. 2-2 count. Weak ball up to second base as Ben Baggett scoops, throws in time for the out. As we get ready to go to the bottom of the 7th inning, Landmark's got one more shot at it. We're down 6-3. See what happens here. Nice job pitching by Brooks. See, Coach Godby meets him as he's coming off the field.
Gives him a hug and a pat.
Yep. So.
I haven't seen Miss Messer here today. She's normally here, isn't she? As Mike plays a little pit bull here.
As we're going to the bottom of the 7th. As once again we've got one more shot at it. Bottom of the 7th inning, but we're at the top of our lineup. So we're in a good spot here for ourselves with Josh, Seth, and Ben coming up here. The top of the 7th inning, getting an opportunity with Voiles out for inning number 2. Not sure what we're doing here. Oh, the starting catcher was still getting his gear on. I think the pitcher has one or two warm-up pitches left.
one of the few games that we haven't seen a left-handed pitcher.
As he throws down here as we got start at the bottom of the 7th. Leading off the bottom of the 7th for the War Eagles, number 5, Josh Nobles.
No, focus, drive it. Head down, drive it through.
First pitch offered to Nobles. Need a big inning right here by the War Eagles. First pitch, dead ball. As he throws inside, Josh trots his way down to first base. He'll wait till he gets home and then complain to his mom.
Yeah.
Now batting number 10, Seth Young.
But he took it like a man.
That's right. Attaboy.
He'll cry like a baby tonight, but he took it like a man.
He'll get home. Mom, I can't pick up my stuff. Will you bring my dinner to me? First pitch, strike to Young. No balls, 1 strike. Nobody out. Bottom of the 7th. Landmark trying to get base runners on to try to make some things happen here. As Voiles looks over. He throws to keep Nobles close. He knows Nobles is a threat to steal.
He hasn't scored up yet. There he is.
Next pitch. Ball up in the zone, 1-1.
Still waiting on that pitch count for Ben.
Next pitch. Curveball in for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Young looked like he was taken all the way, whether he meant to or not. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobles gets his lead. Voiles looks him back. Here's the pitch. As Nobles runs, he is in there safe as Young strikes out for out number 1. As Ben Baggett's now coming up to bat.
Now batting number 27, Ben Baggett.
So 1 out, runner at second. We got a runner in scoring position. Need more than just 1, but that helps.
Yeah, he made it close, didn't he?
Yep. Next pitch. First pitch to Baggett. Here it comes. Baggett fouls it off to the backstop. 0-1.
Take a single in the right place will be an RBI for him, for Baggett.
I think Josh will probably got a good chance of scoring if it's anywhere. And as long as it draws grass. So he holds up. Ball gets past the catcher as Nobles takes off for third. And makes it.
So he advances on the pass ball. Okay.
As Baggett hits one up the middle to the shortstop. Shortstop fields it, throws it across the diamond in time for out number 2, but not before Noble scores. So we picked up 1 more back on the scoreboard as Wren's coming up to bat. The score 6-4 with 2 outs. Now batting number 1, Jordan Wren. As Wren's up with 2 outs. Ball gets past the catcher to the backstop. 1 ball, no strikes.
I'd like to see Jordan on and Austin at the plate.
Give him an opportunity to do something.
Yep.
Yep. Let's see what happens here as Jordan takes a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Or I'd like to see Austin at the plate and Wren coming around third.
Next pitch.
What are you saying?
2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Ball up in the zone there. Jordan Chase is not quite able to catch up with it. So 2 balls, 2 strikes.
He was swinging with bad intentions, though.
Yes, he was. I'll give it to him. No dispute. Here's the pitch to Jordan. Ball down in the zone. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
That ball danced the jig a little bit there.
Yes, it did. 3-2 count on Wren. 3 balls, 2 strikes. As Wren's battling here, trying to get on base. Give Austin a shot. As he swings on and misses for strike number 3 to end the ball game. And that's your ball game for this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, with the final score. The Golden Bears from Holy Innocents 6, the War Eagles 4. So good pitching outing from both the Voiles guys from Holy Innocents. Ben comes in, pitches overall a good game for Landmark. Brooks comes in and battles, pitches in the 7th without letting up too much damage. But once again, Landmark just can't get it done but get base runners on and unable to score. So it kind of seems to be the theme with several teams floating around at the moment. So once again, this final score this evening, 6-4. Our next game will not be until week after next, with next week being spring break.
April 9th is up for our next game.
April 9th will be the next ball game. So we appreciate you guys tuning in with us this evening. This evening actually was a fast ball game.
Yeah, what is it? 7? It's only
7:15. Yeah. So this afternoon was a bang bang play. Everything rolls through, gets the ball game over. So
Mike, I'm not sure if we're going to be televised. We'll be away on the 9th.
Yeah, I don't believe away games that will be streaming. If anything changes, we'll try to get an email or something out. But my understanding is the home games will be streaming from this point on. So our next home game will be...
That'll be April 12th against Mount Vernon here at 5 o'clock. And then the next home game is that Saturday, April 13th at 1 o'clock against Padilla at home.
Okay, so the next game will be an away game. I do not believe we're streaming at that game, but then the next 2 will be at home. So we certainly do appreciate you guys chiming in with us this evening. We appreciate you guys calling in from where you called in from. Once again, safe travels for those of you that may be on the road, for those of you that may be out of town next week with some of the Landmark folks on spring break. Enjoy yourselves. Have a good time, and safe travels to you. For Chaffin Young, for his wife, Miss April, who is celebrating her birthday today. For Derek Nobles, this is Mike McKinney. Telling you once again, we appreciate you being with us this evening. You guys have a good night. God bless, and we'll talk to you next week after next. Thanks for tuning in.